what Fundamism is cooking. What's good, everybody? It's your host, Paul J. Long, on another edition of the Fundamism podcast. We, of course, are brought to you, as always, by our sponsors, Charlie Hustle. We're actually at the Charlie Hustle spot, right where all the models take their amazing photos. I was recently talking to Chase of Charlie Hustle, and I said, hey, man, what do I got to do to be a model for your stuff? He goes, man, you're too muscly. Like, I don't like that muscle joint and that jam in my photos. So I was like, okay, well, clearly you don't want to sell T-shirts and apparel, son. Well, I am super excited. I say that every single time, but nobody has had the energy like this gentleman right here. I mean, you bring the friggin' noise. I mean, like, there's me, and I always thought that I was alone in this world in my energy level. And then I met you, Mr. Dom Green. What's good, brother? How are you?
What's up, man? I really appreciate the intro.
Oh, man.
I love when someone tells me how I see myself sometimes.
Yes.
Like, I've got a positive ego.
Do you?
It's a positive ego. It's knowing that, like, I know the energy that I harness, but you bring the same amount of energy. And, you know, as I was saying earlier, like, you know, it's really great when someone actually has that same feel about people and about life, and they're charismatic. I feel like I can just like bounce ideas and they're not stupid. And that's a part of like never wanting to grow up.
That's right.
So, yeah, thank you for having me here.
Oh,
like,
man,
I've been so excited about this moment. And even like earlier this week,
yes,
we were supposed to do it on what day was it?
Bro. It was supposed to be on Wednesday, I think. Tuesday, and Tuesday. I had a malfunction in technology. My mic stand broke, man. What can you do? Sometimes life throws a little curveball at you. And luckily, when you surround yourself with the right people, everything works out.
That's right.
I holler at you and I say, "Hey, brother, I can't make this happen," and
Seriously.
you're like, it's all good, man.
Like, we're not in this corporate world anymore. We've got some flexibility. We just have to move people around sometimes and things around. So,
but really a lot of people that tune in are in that corporate world. So we got to talk about our journey, because I know that you've had that too. Before we get too deep into it, I guarantee you, as you guys are tuning in and listening, you're thinking, oh Lord, how long is this going to go? This is a lot of energy. So,
might be too much for you guys.
So strap in. What do you do for fun, man? First thing we start with every guest. What do you do for fun?
Man, you know, first of all, people, you know, they're my passion. You know, so anything and everything, it's just all about, you know, what really sounds good, what's really good in the moment. I am like very active into, you know, sports, working out, but last night, I should have invited you to this, but I decided yesterday.
Captain Hindsight, I should have invited you.
Yesterday, I decided that I really wanted to go roller skating.
Oh, yeah.
And so Skate City, like, I looked up the adult night and
over off of 103rd?
103rd. My house is right down the street from there, too.
We live close.
No crap.
So my daughter, she's had no less than 4 events. She goes to Mill Creek Elementary. No less than 4 skate parties thus far. I was just there like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, man.
Yeah, thanks for following me on Instagram, man.
I did see that. I did. I'm lying.
Dude, but I totally would have gone. Dude. So here's what's amazing about Skate City. It doesn't matter if you're into skating or not.
Yes.
What I think about when I go roller skating is not like falling down, because that floor is hard, right?
It is.
I don't think about how uncomfortable the shoes are or how many stinky feet have been in there.
It smells like a foot when you walk in.
It does. Yeah. And it's old school, too.
Yes, it is.
I don't think about the like cleanliness of, you know, because all they do is just spray that stuff in there when you throw those skates back to the guy. Like all he does is squirt.
Yeah. Seriously.
That's good. Whatever it is. Yeah.
That's good enough.
Dude, what I think about is the music.
Yes.
And so I go with my daughter every time, and it's always like, imagine hundreds of kids. I mean, it is packed, and the bulk of kids don't really know how to skate very well at that age. Adeline's in elementary school. She's a kindergartner. So everybody's falling down. And I go recently with our neighbors. One of my neighbors' name is Lauren, and Adeline's really tight right now with Dad, right? She's got to be with Dad all the time, and I love that. Yeah. Well, side note, I'm a huge kid. I mean, we talked about the difference in age, and we're only 4 years age difference, and you've never felt old before, and I don't either. Like, I vibe with kid stuff, and that's the whole premise of Fundamism, right? Is just getting more back to the stuff that gives you strength. Yeah. So we roll in, and Lauren doesn't want to skate with her daughter, May. at all. She's like, she's not feeling it. She just doesn't want to skate tonight. So I get my skates, and Adeline is like, she's amped. May is Adeline's best friend, who, side note, May's mother is Lauren. So May sees Adeline's daddy skate, and she's like, oh, mama, will you please skate? Will you please skate? Lauren looks at me, and she's kind of irritated, and she's like, you need to just let them be kids. And that's right. Like, I do need to let Adeline kind of get out. But side note, I don't do it for Adeline. I do it because I enjoy skating. So what ended up happening was I let them be. But then, Dom, I'm just the guy going round and around, and I'm just vibing to the music. And because I think music is so powerful. It is. And we're going to get back to that really because you got something that's freaking amazing that brought some awesome memories into the life of myself and my wife, and we're going to get to that.
I love that.
But before we get there, let's talk corporate America, son.
Yes.
So you were in corporate America.
I was.
What were you doing?
You know, I was a regional VP, aka sales director. I traveled about 70% of the year, and you know, I felt like I was killing it. You know, like it was. For me, it felt like a dream job because I got to travel.
Right.
But, you know, if you have to go somewhere, you have to go somewhere because of work. And, you know, something about being immersed in that world, I loved it. You know, I feed off of whatever I'm doing, and I believe in whatever I'm doing because I believe in people. And so if I can bring a different experience in anything and everything that I do, I'm really like committed to whatever it is that my purpose is at that moment. And, you know, life does change, but, you know, I was with that company nearly 3 years, and, you know, I met a lot of great people. The perspective of where my world was and who I was, I think it did definitely change. I felt like I was feeling a little bit older, but, you know, still had the young charisma. Everything changed one day when
I remember it like it was yesterday.
I remember it like it was yesterday. It was actually last year. And, you know, let me say this, a couple months prior to that, I was thinking about if I didn't have this awesome gig where I'm making north of 6 figures and I'm able to basically have that financial stability like I really wanted, what would I be doing? And there was 2 things, financial factoring, which is like, you know, where I basically help people out with a business-to-business invoice where I'll buy their, you know, I'm a loan shark at sometimes, you know, so I'll lend them money and I'll buy the invoice and I'll get paid about 60 to 90 days later. And so it was solving a problem, you know, it's like something that was easy, didn't really need to get too many clients. So I do that from time to time. And then it was Positive People Posse. It was in my mind that, you know, I'm all about positivity, and it really just stuck in the name just stuck in my brain for so long. And I get to the office one day after a long trip and had to do this like award submission for this award that we were submitting for. And I walk in, my boss says, "Hey, Dom, are you almost done with that award submission?" And I was like, "Yep, already done, turned it in," you know. He's like, "I appreciate it." And so I go into my office and I shut the door, and I'm about to work on some document projects and, you know, trying to get some deals through the register, make some good sales money. And he walks in, he's like, "Dom, can I talk to you?" And I'm just like, "Oh, what? He doesn't like my award submission?"
What exactly did you say that you do here, Dom?
He said, "Dom, unfortunately, we're going to have to let you go." And
Whoa.
I'm like, whoa,
completely
ball
unexpected.
Yes, exactly. That feeling, there was this euphoric feeling that washes over you, but this didn't feel like a euphoric feeling. This felt like I was in the Matrix. Like I was like, wait, where am I? Like I literally started thinking about my expensive car,
wow,
you know, like my mortgages,
yes,
and all these other things. And I just like, I was so shell shocked. I didn't even communicate. I wasn't pissed off. I wasn't angry. I was just confused. But he, you know, my boss, he actually said nothing but great things about me, as anyone would when they're breaking up with someone.
It's not you, it's me.
Yes. And so they gave me a nice little severance package. So, you know, it really kicked off the reset at that point in time. It said, "Dom, you got some time to figure out what you really want to do." And so, you know, it was a humbling experience. And so I ended up just going traveling for like a couple weeks, going to see friends and whatever, just doing whatever I wanted. And I just kept on thinking about what my next move was going to be. And so I got through the interview process, like putting my resume out there. But, I still was like, gosh, this Positive People Posse thing and all the other things. I started 2 businesses. I'm just going to shorten this up. I started 2 businesses at the same time. I needed something that was going to sustain Positive People Posse, where I could throw money at something and be like, I'm going to grow this. And so I basically did that, and I was like, okay, all right. So our next move with Positive People Posse, we definitely want to talk about human interaction. We want to talk about entrepreneurship. We want to talk about the things that make us tick. We want to experience things through events. Like I want this whole thing. Like I don't know what it is specifically, but it is about. It's positivity, and positivity is not happiness. I really want to create something about that because I went through some things that weren't so positive to get me where I'm at today. And I wanted other people to kind of relate with that.
I want to stop you for a brief moment because it's amazing to hear you say, I don't know what it looks like,
yes,
but I know that there's something there.
Yes.
So we met.
Yeah.
About 2 years ago, I think. So maybe longer than that.
Yeah.
We got a mutual friend by the name of Dan Krejci, and he's got an awesome spot that's
His house is awesome.
Oh my gosh! Not only is his house awesome, the vibe is awesome.
It is great.
Like you just know that the people that are around are the Positive People Posse,
yes,
bro. I mean, they're individuals that just lift others up. I've never heard anybody in that group say a bad thing about anybody. And the coolest thing about the group is Dan is a master at creating these awesome experiences that get everybody involved.
Dude, seriously.
So we do the Olympics in the summertime, right? And I think that that's how we met.
Yeah.
And so we met on the volleyball court, I think.
Yes. It was weird because anywhere and everywhere I go, even if it's work or if it's out, like I am meeting buddies. And if I don't meet buddies, then I'm going home. And that day, this dude shows up in some chubbies, some like short shorts and like neon shorts.
Oh,
I don't know what they are. But
I go hard in the paint.
Tank top. He's a bro. Like dude's kind of fit, And like
he said kind of fit.
No,
Rob.
he's fit. Look at those guns. No, this dude's fit. And like the way you greet people will say a lot about a person. And you're making your rounds, and then. It came to me. Hey, what's up, Dom? Hey, what's up? I'm Paul. What's your name? I'm Dom. We exchanged names and we just briefly introduced ourselves.
Short interaction.
And I think we may have been on the same team.
Yep.
And then you had to end up going somewhere that day. You were bouncing all around.
That's
then you
right.
came back, but whatever. Me and him had a short little brief engagement, but it was powerful. It made me feel like, no, this is a dude I would vibe with.
Yes.
We don't even know what each other do. Like we didn't say, "Hey, so what do you do?" It's just, we do that too often in a lot of settings. It's like, so let me see if this person's on my level. I'm like, no, first of all, I've got tattoos and whatever. I'm a black guy for some of these listeners. Not everybody knows what I am. I'm kind of ambiguous on the phone. But
you're like a surfer.
Yeah, people be like, yeah, bro. I'm like, do I really sound like that? Yeah, bro. Live freely, stay positive. I'm like, whatever, So like me and him just vibed out like right away, and so it was impactful. And then when did we meet again?
Well, so in the interim, we meet each other that time, and I go to Lifetime Fitness. And I see a young lady there by the name of Kim Vodder.
Yeah.
And so Kim's brother, Scott, is always at Dan's, right? Is always at Dan's.
I call him Shoddy Scotty.
Shoddy Scotty.
Because he's always taking shots.
Shout out to Shoddy. Yes, and he handles them extremely well. But nevertheless... Kim, she hears that I have a book coming out. She follows me on Instagram. She knows that I'm doing these speeches and whatnot. She's like, you have to connect with my buddy, Dom.
Yes.
And I go,
just like her.
What does he do? And she's like, you've never heard of Dom Green? He's got this deal called Positive People Posse. And I'm like, well, that sounds amazing. She goes, follow him on Instagram. So I go to your Instagram, and you're in the infancy stages. Yes. I mean, there's 8 posts. And I can't figure it out what the hell you do. Like I have no idea what the Positive People Posse is, but I know it sounds amazing, right? So then what happens is we are at the same party months later.
Yes.
Chase McAnulty
Yes.
of Charlie Hustle is throwing a housewarming party. He just got a new
Awesome
new
house.
digs. And you're in the pool, looking all fit and kind of somewhat fit. He's somewhat fit.
Kind of does.
Yeah.
Man, you more cut than a Julian salad. Any tips? Do you know that reference?
No. but it
Okay,
sounds
Tropic Thunder.
Oh, I love that. Yes.
Give me that goddamn hat, boy.
I'm dressed as a dude playing a dude. This
Disguised as another dude.
That's right.
It's funny because I'm the black guy and he was playing a black guy.
Yes.
But I was playing a white guy who was playing a black guy.
Dude, that movie is amazing.
It is, man. I've watched it probably like 20 times.
So I see you, and immediately, now this time we've seen each other before, so now we start vibing, we start talking. And still, the cool thing that I admire about our relationship thus far is we still didn't talk about what we did.
No.
Like, not at all. We're just playing and vibing and having a good time.
Bros.
It's just a couple of pros. Fast forward, I see Taco Talks on Instagram. Now it seems like you're finding your sea legs. Like now it seems like you have some direction.
Yes.
So I want to stop you just for a brief moment because you were like, I didn't know what it looked like. I didn't know what the hell it was. And I'm following you. I didn't know what it looked like. I didn't know what the hell it was. And then boom, you figured it out. So Taco Talks.
Yeah, so like the main thing was for me and the direction. I don't like to say that I'm like the founder or the owner or whatever. I'm just a life enthusiast. That's my title. I'm bringing life to this, and it is collaborative. I did have an idea of what I want to do and like what was going to be my first step into the game, but I was sandbagging so long that it was just kind of resting there in that pace, but I was trying to develop an audience the entire time, and so there was some ambiguity to what we were doing. And then, we came out with the Taco Talks, and that was something that we developed from like early in the year, and we were trying to find the right sponsor. Right. And then we found the right sponsor.
Mission Tacos, shout out.
No, it was Mazuma Credit Union.
Oh!
Sorry, is this a plug that I can't drop? Okay.
No, I didn't know that.
Yes.
But it's Taco Talks.
Yes.
And it's at Mission Taco.
Well, we did Mission Taco. That's one of the places that we did. We had 6 different restaurants.
Oh.
And that was and so we found the right person, and community driven by Mazuma Credit Union. They are a community company. It was something that they already had my money.
Yeah.
Like it was someone that I already believed in and trusted with my money. And now I'm going to give them my baby that we can actually co-brand something that had a good relationship. So we came with Taco Talks, and Taco Talks was this entrepreneurial spirit that we wanted to do that over a meal, but have entrepreneurs tell their story. And the storytelling thing is really important. I think that's where you and I really relate with our brand message is we want to hear people's story, and we want to kind of show the similarities in a way, but also we're probably just, the sociologists in a way. We want to understand how people work in a way. And that's what I wanted to find was something that was going to be, something relatable. We can all aspire to do something or learn from others on how they created. And so we did Taco Talks, and, so you saw the Taco Talks.
I saw the growth of your idea.
Yeah.
And, side note, so you said, obviously, you're a life enthusiast.
Yeah.
I'm a fun champion, so that's what we have in common.
Powerful.
But I think that while it's awesome for us to find our journey and go through the struggle, so many folks are still trying to figure out theirs, right? And so what I admire about you and Taco Talks and the Silent Disco and the new project that you're working on, we'll talk all about this, is that the goal isn't just to showcase, what can happen when you show a genuine interest in others, right? And you ask real questions instead of the same stuff that everybody else is talking about. But potentially somebody's going to tune in or listen to this and say, yes, I was in corporate America.
Yes.
Or the biggest fear of most people living in corporate America is, what if I lose my job?
Yeah.
And so finding somebody like you that gets the opportunity to showcase your story right now and talk about that, I'm sure many people could relate to that. Yeah. So that fear, like your stomach drops off.
Man.
Oh shit, what am I going to do, right?
Yeah.
What did I do?
That's your own identity right there.
That's exactly
your job
right.
is your identity.
Yes.
Like when with the introduction, what do you do?
Yes.
You know, like that's not my identity, really. Like, who are you as a person first?
Yes.
And foremost.
Yep. But that's not how we start.
No.
What do you do for work?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
You have kids?
Seriously.
You got family? Sure is nice outside.
Yes.
But nevertheless, so I got a similar story, although I left my job voluntarily, that fear still sat in. I mean, $40,000 in credit card debt.
Yes.
Wife hits me in the chest one day and says, babe, this ain't going to work. You need to figure it out. I was an entrepreneur, but I wasn't putting in the work.
Yeah.
Like, what did you say about your journey? You said I was, you didn't use the term procrastinating, but essentially you said that you were just kind of dragging your feet a little bit about this idea. And I don't remember exactly the verbiage that you used, but I always knew that Fundamism was a thing, but I didn't know what the hell it was. And so I was trying to market it as consulting. I was trying to market it as, one-on-one leadership coaching. I didn't know what it was.
Dude, you can't even really classify your business.
No.
Like, you probably don't even know how to classify your business.
I don't. I mean, it's
if
a lifestyle
if you go to the
philosophy.
bank and they're like, "Oh, what kind of business is
Yeah.
this?" You're like, "What is it?" Like, I do stuff,
awesome stuff, though.
and it's awesome. It's fun. Can I get a loan?
Yeah, that'll be $1 million, please. So, but nevertheless, you did the Taco Talks, and then that morphed into apparel. So you have some really cool apparel. You're wearing the Dom hat now.
Positive People Posse hat.
I call it the Dom
Okay,
hat.
that's cool.
'Cause that thing is fire.
Thanks, man.
But he's smiling, right? What's the
Yeah.
significance of how'd you come up with that brand style?
Positive energy. Positive energy makes me smile. Positive energy is, really taking the good with the bad. But, when we think about, electricity, it takes a positive and a negative to get that current, to get that electrified lightning bolt. And that's what we have
It's
here.
electrifying.
Weird flex, but okay. People are saying that now. I don't even know where that came from. But
I love the best thing that I love about podcasts is like we think that everybody's watching.
No one's watching.
Nobody's watching.
Yeah.
We do have a YouTube version of
Yes.
this, and I was talking to you before that. So I mean, we do all right.
Yeah.
I've had I just hit over 10,000 and some odd downloads, so I was pretty stoked about
that's
that.
huge.
And this is I don't even really market it, right?
Yeah.
So I need to start working with you a little bit more on
Yes.
how to do that and be more strategic. But it's all word of mouth, and when I go
really
do
is.
events and stuff like that. Well, side note, got this amazing videographer, Rob Fizz, sporting the Taco Bell hoodie as always. Does great work. He keeps leveling up. We got 4 friggin' cameras here. 4
Matrix.
friggin' cameras. And like all of this in HD. Look at those pants.
Oh, yeah.
Like you can't see them if
This
you're
is
not
how we
watching
get
on
people to
YouTube.
the
That's
tube.
right.
I wore these for Paul today.
Yes. And I, of course, am wearing my Charlie Brown bow tie. Good grief. Good grief. But nevertheless, what sucks is we got like 20, 30 views on each
Yes.
podcast episode on YouTube. And part of that is my own fault. Like I don't even tell people that it's out there.
It's so tough to get your hand in anything and everything. And I think that you're doing a good job, though, Paul.
But thank you.
You guys are doing a good job. You're not doing it for nothing at all. Like, because I'm a visual person. And so it speaks to me when I can visually see what I'm hearing.
Sure.
You know,
the Instagram clips and all that stuff.
yes.
Yeah.
Formatting some clips, though, always helps. though.
Sure.
You know, if you can shorten it and get something very impactful, condense it, chop it up, and just blast. You know, Joe Rogan style. You know, I've been seeing
Yes.
that. And so we're going to reintroduce the Positive People Posse, you know, Taco Talks and shorter clips and get people to go back to the content that we created because it was very expensive. There's a lot that goes into this.
You did it pretty interesting. I mean, one of the things that I admired about the format is you broke it up in, so each one was broken up in 2 sessions or
parts,
episodes,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And each one was only like 15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like
only to some people is a lot.
yeah. But it's easily digestible. At
Yes.
least. Is it available on streaming platforms, Spotify, iTunes,
Not
or anything
yet,
like that?
not yet. That's something we're working on right now, and that will be available.
Sure.
We are we're kind of sandbagging again right now because
That's
we are
the term you used earlier.
Yes,
Yes.
we're sandbagging. It's really that that approach, that pragmatic approach of like, okay, what does my first post look like? I don't know. I used to like get overwhelmed by posting. I still don't really like posting.
I don't either. Hate it.
I
Seems
really
narcissistic to me.
It is. I don't really like too much. As much as like I do sound very charismatic on here, I really don't like too much attention when it just feel like it's like too much about
Says
me
the
and not
dude
about
in
people.
those pants.
Yes, but that's a statement. I want to be approachable though. That's a different thing. You know, like I don't even want to be famous. I want notoriety. Like I don't. There's so many. It seems contradictive in a way, but to me it makes sense.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, and that's all that matters. You know, it's like I can explain myself. You know, but. You know, the brand aspect, you know, like I want people to be a part of the posse, but, you know, like I lost my train of thought.
No, you're killing it. We're talking about branding. We're talking about getting your hands on all the different social media platforms and how do you spread yourself well, I say thin, but you really need to go spread yourself thick to appeal to all different types of audiences.
Yes. You know, like really just planning the approach is like, okay, this is what we're going to do next. It's really about that quality and representation of what I want to bring. And everything that we do, you have to bring some passion to it. I don't care what you're doing. And Taco Talks is like, it's like a sub part of Positive People Posse. We want that to just kind of be in its own leg and allow that to be a part of people that may need some inspiration. You know, they don't really know how to get their start, and what we've already talked about is sometimes you don't know what that looks like, but you know, we're kind of designed to kind of be, you know, multitude of things. And so I brought a multitude of things for Positive People Posse, and you know, we definitely wanted to have some on-brand representation with positivity, and positivity is not happiness. You know, positivity sounds like it's corny. It should not be corny.
Who are you talking about, man? My business is fun. People don't want to bring me in because it's like, oh, fun is immature.
Yeah. I mean, like, but we do talk about real things in life, you know, but they're uplifting things, you know, like we want to uplift and we take the good and the bad and all those things. But like, there's so many representations on what positivity is. And so when it's authentic, you know, you will have an audience, and you already do have an audience. I mean, you're doing an exceptional job. Don't think that people aren't taking notice, because a lot of people just don't tell you sometimes. You know, and we need more people.
Lifted me up. You
know what I'm saying? Like it's unfortunate, you know, and I mean, it's kind of saddening that people don't uplift one another too often. Yeah. You know, someone will be like, wow, that's really cool, but they won't tell you. I don't really need views. I'd rather have engagements.
Yes, yeah.
And because that engagement quality, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like, oh man, you know, we really have some people that believe in what we're doing.
Yes.
And you need the same thing. And so
then it's actually a posse.
It is a posse. It is a posse.
Being an entertainer.
Yeah. And the reason why I'm here today is, you know, when you scratch someone's back, best believe we gonna collect that.
Oh shoot! I think I've just been signed up for something.
Yes, I'm gonna collect that. I'm gonna collect that on that ass, Paul.
Hey, the rent's due.
Come to pay up, Paulie.
Two things that you said that really resonate with me, and that I want to tie together with our listener, because people listen to me oftentimes and they can't really relate to my, that energy.
Yes.
And I'm guessing you get that a lot too.
Yeah, a lot.
And so I often say to audiences or folks that say that my energy can't be recreated. First of all, I disagree that it can't be recreated, but the most important aspect is I wouldn't want you to.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you to be anybody but you. I'm just trying to find out what you actually looks like, because so many people are living in a shell of themselves.
Yes.
And they're not bringing their authentic self out. And why? It's a number of different things. They're fearful of losing their job. They're fearful of their spouse not accepting them. They're fearful of not finding a spouse at all, right? They want to be the perfect dad. They want to be the perfect mom, whatever it is. And as such, you're playing a game of like who you think everybody wants you to be instead of who you actually are.
You're so right about that.
So fear drives so many of our decisions. So we talk about our experience in corporate America. We both leave corporate America and we gravitate towards, and this is the main thing that I want everybody to pull out of this particular episode. we gravitate towards something that we're passionate about. And you said, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Like, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You have to have passion behind it. If you are unhappy with your life experience thus far, and you're unhappy in your job, or you're unhappy in your relationship, or whatever it may be, find something that you're passionate about. And maybe that just means that you need to reignite your relationship with passion, right?
I do believe that.
Because for one reason or the other, you got there.
Yes.
You were passionate about something in that maybe you always hated your job.
Yeah.
But that day that you interviewed and you got that job, boy, you were on cloud nine.
Oh, man.
You felt great, right?
Yeah, I felt like I sold somebody, too. You know? Like, what? I don't even know what I'm capable of, you know? Like, wow, they believe in me? Oh, do you see something in me? That's great.
But that's funny because ego drives so many people, right? And so A, you're going to be faced with challenge. You might lose your job. You might lose somebody significantly close to you in life. Nothing's going to help you get through that than gravitating more towards the things that make you strong, that make you smile, and finding things that you're passionate about. Ultimately, people look at you and they look at me and they say, I could never do that. Yeah, and the answer to that statement is you can't with that attitude. And I know that's super cliche, right?
But you are right about that.
But I didn't think I could, dude. Like,
it's a mindset. Oh, it's a mindset.
But did you ever doubt yourself? Like, real talk. Did you ever doubt yourself?
You know what? I think the doubt that I ever had is the fear of other people doubting me. And once I got past that threshold and I actually believed, I'm like, no, I really have something here. It's like, if you've ever, the first time you ever public speak, you're worried about not being an expert at whatever you're doing. I felt like I was an expert in this. So I'm like, why would it be bad? You know? I don't think I'm crazy, but I am crazy.
A little crazy.
I'm a little crazy.
But that's what makes you unique.
You have to be.
Yeah, absolutely. If you weren't crazy, you wouldn't have taken the risk.
Yeah, seriously.
So, what's interesting is mine was the opposite in terms of doubt. I was so fearful. Like, my whole life, people have always said, very similar to what I'm sure your energy is a lot.
Yes.
Or, you're so cool to have around because it's hard to have a bad day when you're around, right? And so when I left corporate America, my fear was that, what if I let everybody down? Like, gosh. Everybody has these.
I've had that.
Everybody thinks so highly of me, and they say the most amazing things. What if I'm not what everybody thinks I am? Yeah. And I wasn't as comfortable in my own skin then, right? I mean, I was always authentic. I was always this way. But I wasn't as confident that I knew what the vision was, what it looked like, and how I was going to get there, right? And all I needed was a shot.
Yes.
I got that call, and they said, hey, can you do this keynote for me? I'm double booked someplace, the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America. I'd never done a keynote before, but I was like, yup. So I wrote it, and I did an hour and a half. And 2 weeks later, I got a call from a speakers bureau, and they said somebody was in the audience, and they said you were amazing, and they want to book you for an event.
That's awesome.
And then I got another event, and then I got another event, and then I got another event, and now it's just that confidence is there. And that $40,000 in credit card debt that I had racked up because I'm an entrepreneur, but I don't know what the hell I'm entrepreneuring. I just made that stuff up. And it just started to dissipate. Why? Because I'm having a blast. Why? Because I'm gravitating towards something that I'm passionate about. Why? Because I start to believe in myself and other people see the passion that I have, and as a result, they want to be a part of it. And that is the Positive People Posse.
Yes, man. It
really
is.
You, speaking of which, just real talk, I want to break this down for you guys. You might be tuning in. I had a guest a while back. Her name was Molly Balloons. You met Molly Balloons, right?
Oh, yeah.
So Molly Balloons is...
She forgets my name every single time.
Oh, my gosh. She forgets a lot of things. So Molly Balloons is on, and she's amazing. I mean, we had a blast, very similar to how you and I typically kick it. She wanted to have one drink while we're doing the podcast. And so my friend, Niecy Stoner, reaches out. She goes, hey, that chick that you had on, was she drunk? And I was like, absolutely not. That's her personality. Like, all the time. She's always that way. Why do I bring that up? Because when I met you and I was told that Chase was going on Taco Talks, I asked Chase, I'm like, dude, that guy is always so chill and lighthearted. And he's like, it just seems like he's always high. Is that guy always high? And Chase goes, I don't even think that he smokes, Paul. And so I say that because your personality is not something that people interact with often. Like it's easy for folks to see individuals like you and even me to a lesser extent and say, that can't be them all the time.
Dude, I mean, like, honestly, I've dabbled before and it's just not for me. I start feeling weird and insecure. So I'm just myself. I am myself.
Just high on life.
I think it was weird because, and I really appreciate all that because, like, one thing about life and brand is what people say behind your back.
Yeah.
And I heard that from, I don't know who that's from, but it's really true.
Yep.
And so that's great that, my brand message is, he's kind of like a stoner, but he's just high on life. Yeah. And that's great. I love that because I think that this enthusiasm that I have about life and people and everything that I do really came from my mom. She really told me that there's nothing that I couldn't do. And she believed in any and every idea that I ever had. And so that from a young upbringing, even if I was just terrible at basketball, I will not see you on the basketball court, bro. Like,
I'll dunk on you.
I won't. I'll foul you.
And that's real.
Yeah. And so, it starts early on, but, my mom's a weirdo. I'm a weirdo. I actually brought you a shirt that says, we're all weird. So.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I should have opened it.
But your guns are too big.
Yeah. He got me a large. I was like, man, that's disrespectful, bro.
You look kind of small, bro.
So, all right, last thing, because we could sit here and talk all day.
Yes.
And side note, we probably will have another round of talks, Fundamism talks.
Yeah, man, I love it.
Because I think that we've just really scratched the surface. But I'm sitting in Barcelona, Spain. I'm doing a trade show. And oftentimes these trade shows, they wrap up the session or the week or whatever with like a blowout bang. Like I got the opportunity to see Bruno Mars in concert. They bring in folks like Justin Timberlake, or the last one that I did, I got the opportunity. What are you looking for, your phone?
Oh, I thought it was ringing. Okay. Oh, my bad. No, I'm listening.
No, I know you are.
Yeah.
So ultimately, the last one that I went to in Barcelona, Spain was like a Bulgarian circus theme. So they were trying to
do a Bulgarian accent.
I can't. You do it.
Bulgarian. I don't know.
So that sounded pretty good. I told you about Wonderscope. We went on Wonderscope today with my kids.
Yes.
And so I had to find this. They have this little thing that they do every single day that if you find their mascot hiding in any one of the rooms, you take it to the front desk and you get a prize. So I was wearing this Australian like hat. Yeah. And so I was like, crikey, let's go on an expedition. And so we were just deep down in the dark trenches of the night, the mascot lurks. Adeline, can you find the mascot? She's like, Dad, what are you doing? Yes. So that's the extent of my... No, they don't get us. So Bulgarian circus theme. I mean, freak show everything. Dom, they got like the people putting the hooks up their noses. It's a freak show.
It's so gross. Oh, it makes me cringe.
Back in the corner is this circus tent set up, and there's like 100 people in the circus tent, and there's lights and everything, and I walk back there and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I walk in and I'm given these headphones, and I see everybody else in the circus tent has these headphones on. So the individual that gives me the headphones, they say, listen, there's multiple DJs. You can actually change the DJ that you're listening to on the headphones. Have a good time. So I'm with like 7 people that I'm traveling with, and we just start vibing. And like it's just you and the music, yes. Right? And like on one station it's Kiss, I Want to Rock and Roll All Night. And the next station it's like Nelly, Ride With Me or something, right? Like it's all over the place.
Yes.
And so cool thing is if you can't dance or anything like that, like I'm just feeling it, right? Like I'm just getting it. And I like to dance. I wouldn't say that I'm great at it, but I like to dance. I just feel music. I think music is so powerful, right?
It really is.
And it can get you to feel any emotion that you want to feel. And so, you're vibing. And the cool thing is if you can't dance, side note, nobody knows what the hell you're listening to. So you could be on beat, off beat. It doesn't matter because everybody's living their own truth in that moment. So what's going on is these 6, 7 people, what we're doing is a great song, come on. Everybody gets excited. And so then they'll physically change your, okay.
You can hear it vocally.
Yes.
People shouting out whatever it is.
If you take your headphones off. Okay, so it's called a silent disco. And I am enamored with it. I go back to my hotel that night and I'm like, I just experienced something amazing. Why is this not in Kansas City? This is all 100% truthful story.
Yes.
So I get I get on Instagram and I don't know why, like I'm just looking, I'm just, being mindless, laying in bed, being an idiot on my phone like we all do. And your Positive People post comes off, Positive People Posse post comes up. Silent Disco coming up in April. Right? Is it April, March?
It was March 9th.
March 9th.
Of 2019.
And immediately, it was the same night that I did it.
Yes,
same night that I'm thinking, we got to do this.
I love this.
And then I see your post and immediately like joy and jubilation comes over me. Like, I'm like, first of all, awesome. Like, I love to see great people doing amazing things in our community. Second of all, how awesome is that? Like, I don't believe
ironic, man.
Yeah, I don't believe in coincidences.
Universal.
Like, I think it's energy, right?
It is. Energy's real, man. It really is.
So real. So in that moment, I'm
real.
thinking, man, we got to do this. I see that you're doing it. I buy my tickets.
Yes.
I send you a text while I'm in Spain.
That was great.
I'm like, I'm so proud of you. So I talked my wife into going. My wife is somewhat reserved. She's amazing. Love of my life. She was on drill team. She's got rhythm. I say that like all drill teamers have rhythm. That's not true. But she's got rhythm, yes. And so she goes with me. And I'm amped because like this is something that I've been looking forward to for months. And it's the Silent Disco Glow Party, right?
Yes.
So I bought the Glow package.
Yes, you did.
So I get the glasses and the glow
Batons,
sticks.
yeah.
Yep, that's right. And the gentleman, one of your videographers, greets me at the door that I had the opportunity to meet recently. His name is
Addison Price?
No. Yes, Addison Price.
Addison
yes. Shout out to Addison.
What up, Addie?
Sorry, I forgot your name, bro. It's been a while. That's a sign that we haven't talked in a long time.
There you go.
So he greets me and I meet his wife and it's amazing. We go in. My wife, she's just kind of in her head for the first 30 minutes, right? Side note, we got there when it opened. So there was like nobody there.
Yeah.
So then it starts to fill in and then the vibe starts to change. And you have
And we sold this thing out.
3 DJs.
Yes, 3
sold
DJs.
out, right? And all of a sudden it clicks. Melissa just all of a sudden she just starts getting it. She just starts vibing and like I'm dancing and we're like back to high school.
I even
like
remember what shirt you had, which is this a weird thing? You had a UMKC
I
Rouge
did.
shirt
That's
on,
absolutely right. With a nice little
I don't know
overcoat.
why I had to say that, but like, that's how I remember people.
Because the moment was memorable. Anyway, to make a short story long, Dom, that meant the world to me. That night, not only was I excited about your event because I know the power that music plays in people's lives and mine specifically, the energy behind the story and the coincidence, if you believe in that, I don't. I think it was energy.
Not at all.
The joy that you had in pimping the event, putting on the event, the actual event itself, and then all of a sudden seeing my wife on cloud frickin' 9, out of her head, not worrying about the kids, not worried about me, and just living life and loving it, dude. You created
I love
that.
that experience that people have, like, they've told me. And, like, hearing your experience, like, I literally get the goosies, man. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I get excited about people, about their excitement. You know, like, when someone can tell me a story from their point of view, I don't know, I'm an empath. You know, I feel it. And I visually can see it. You know, it's that creative aspect that you and I both have that like really gets us excited because we know that we're offering an energy to people and we know that we can change the energy around us in a positive way.
Yes.
And like be relatable. And that's what you have. And, you know, with that, I felt like, you know, these kindred spirits over here, you know, we were meant to be brothers.
Is it hot in here? I feel like I'm getting hot.
Oh, man.
So what's the history behind, where'd you come up with the idea? How'd it come to you?
You know, like, again, it was this like melting pot of all these ideas that I wanted to do with Positive People Posse. But, you know, it's about human interaction. It's about engagement. It's about telling stories. But it all has to deal with people. And one thing that we're doing in the social media world is not really interacting. Again, like when I said, you know, people just don't uplift you and tell you that you're doing a good job.
Right.
And like, we need more of that, right? And so we need to interact with people more. We got to do more storytelling. And how do we do that? We got to draw people in to an experience and an event. And that's just one dose. Like we have to dumb things down. Not saying that the people are dumb for going to that, but it was very interesting. And if my passion is people, we have to get in front of people and we have to do it in a way where we can literally just watch and just see joy happen.
Yes.
Because whatever's going on in your life that week, we're going to let it go at the dope. Okay? and we're gonna have a good old time and like just look around and see other people bringing joy to their lives.
Yes.
And like that really we're learning. We're learning in that experience. And like whether if you acknowledge it or not, people learn something. They learn that it was something that they didn't know that they were going to like, and they ended up liking that. So let's do more things like that. Like hesitation.
Yes.
So everything that we do, there's like an undertone of being resourceful. There's like, we want to bring something where there is an experience. There's something that you learn. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't care if if it comes down to finance, we're going to show a fun way to show finance I can't do that. Well, we're working on something right now where it's like, yes, you can. This is how you do it.
Right.
I'm going to do this for you.
Thank you.
But yeah, I think it's really important for us to kind of get out of our comfort zone sometimes. And sometimes that may take losing your job. It shouldn't, though. Don't lose your wife. Be the best husband.
Unless those things aren't working for you.
Yeah, if they're not working. But here's the thing. This is what I like to tell people, when I sit down with my friends. When we sit down on the couch and we have these conversations, and we're coming out with a show called The Living Room, because that's where fun happens. That's where life happens. We talk and discuss things, and it can be on an inflatable couch out in the park or whatever, but we're going to be real. We're going to be authentic. And, but like when we're talking about these experiences, like we want to be very authentic. We literally, we do care about people.
Yes.
Like that is important for me to interact with people because I'm learning. That's something that I'm really, really feeling. I'm very passionate about. And we got to showcase it a little bit differently sometimes. So that's where it came about. It's because we were doing something that was about experience and interaction in a weird way.
Right.
We're all weird. I really do believe that.
We all got our own our own little flaws and uniquities, if you will, and that's what makes us cool and special, right?
Yeah.
And oftentimes, what's interesting is we look at some of these things in ourselves, and what makes us different, and sometimes it negatively impacts your ego.
Yeah.
But there are other things that when other people see the same thing that you see as a potential landmine or flaw or whatever you want to call it, like others are like, man, that's awesome that he's that way or she's that way. So one of the things that I really like about what you just said is you get the opportunity to just watch, and you watch people getting joy out of something. So I do an exercise oftentimes in my keynotes when I have everybody stand up and find a partner, and typically starts with one question: what do you do for fun? So you have to share with your partner what's one thing that you do for fun. And then the second part of the activity is it's easy to have fun at home, but it's a lot more difficult when you're at work or you're in corporate America and you've got a boss that you don't like, or you only have 15 minutes on break or whatever it may be. So what do you do for fun at work? So these are questions. What do you do for fun? What do you do for fun at work? Those are both questions that make people think about what? Something that lifts them up, right?
Yeah.
Some positivity. Yeah. So as a result, when I look around the room, Dom, you know what I see? 100 people, 1,000 people smiling.
Yes.
And that's the power that we have by creating an environment that allows people to gravitate more towards the things that lift them up as opposed to the things that tear them down. Mm-hmm. Like, do fun stuff, try new things, go to a silent disco. And if you miss the opportunity in March, well, guess what, fam?
Woo! We got another one coming.
That's
May
right.
10th.
May 10th.
Go get you some.
Go get you some. Where can we find tickets?
Tickets, positivepeopleposse.com. Go to the Glow 2.0 package or Glow 2.0 section.
And it's amazing. You could buy
and it's going to a good cause too.
Yeah, talk about that.
Here's the thing. Okay, like we, Positive People Posse isn't really truly a business yet. This is something that's still growing. Like we are starting to see revenue through our merchandise, and people are interacting. But this is really this is all passion right now. This isn't like this big corporate structure or anything. And I do respect corporations. Like literally, I think that we need it. There are people for the corporate avenue, and there's ways that you can actually do great things and still have a way to feel impact within your company and culture. But this is really about, finding, ways that we can kind of, have our niche in a community and we can inspire people. And I was inspired by this organization called Girls on the Run KC. I don't have a kid.
Girls on the run.
Girls on the run. Yeah, we're corny.
Sorry to interrupt. Keep going.
So I was one of my new friends who also has a podcast, talked about this Girls on the Run nonprofit. And what was cool about this was the fact that he related it to his own personal story, talking about growing up and feeling that he was inferior to the people at his school because he didn't have shoes that were not good enough, and they were dirty and they were brown and they're falling apart, and hearing the shoe flap when he walked, and Girls on the Run being this organization where they actually gift these girls brand new ASIC shoes through completing a program and stuff. And it's like, whoa, hold on a second. You just brought me down to an empath aspect where I'm thinking about if I couldn't afford shoes and people looked at how brown my shoes were, maybe I'm outgrowing them and I don't feel good enough. It's inclusivity. And that's what we have with Positive People Posse is inclusivity. And this is empowerment too. And there's all these words I really want more companies doing what we're doing in a way. It's not about us being the only one talking about positivity and being Positive People Posse and whatever. Just all about us. We want to be one of many because we are stronger if we are all working together.
Sure.
And community and not really, we're not competing. You got your entire different audience, but similar people that we're talking to. Let's come together. Yeah. Let's do something very special. And so Girls on the Run KC, they're not only just giving back to these girls, but they're empowering them by mentoring these young women. And hey, we all come from women. I'm coming from
newsflash.
You know what I'm saying? My mom is 4'11", 110 pounds. I'm about 6'2". My mom is everything to me. She empowered me. And so I can relate, we're all feminists. Okay, whatever. But we're all people. We're all human beings, so let's do things and give back and have some purpose in what we're doing. And this time around Glow 2.0, we've got some purpose with Girls on the Run. I was inspired. It was last minute. We're oh, dude, this is awesome. Let's try to help them out. But not necessarily just raise money, but awareness because they need more mentors. We all need mentors. I had a mentor growing up. Oh my gosh, he told me things about myself that I was like, dang, you really feel that about me? I can't do this. My mom said I could, but that's my mom. Moms aren't that cool at a certain age. So it's really cool when you can get mentorship because you can pick children's their brains and being wow, hey, have you ever thought about this and this? And then, hey, it might spark curiosity for them to be whatever they want to be and achieve things that they didn't know that they could achieve. And so our passion is giving back with purpose, talking about how you can involve your time. Time is better than money. And again, I'm going to collect that debt. I'm going to need you to sit on my show, Mr. Paul Long.
I'd love to sit on your couch.
It's been a long time, Paul Long.
It's the casting couch.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens on that casting couch. Ooh. I'm going to have to sign a disclaimer. Hey,
just a couple
non-disclosure, whatever they're called.
That you're talking about for
exactly.
The shoe cleaner.
Hey, that's a good callback. So, Dom Green, I admire the hell out of you, man.
Thanks, man.
It's been cool to watch your journey, to see your growth.
We could talk a long time, Mr. Paul Long.
Paul Long.
It's my time to go.
It's just the tip of the iceberg, brother. So if you want to learn more about Positive People Posse, obviously go to positivepeopleposse.com. Melissa and I already have our tickets to their second silent disco. Trust me, I would not steer you in the wrong direction. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're great at dancing. It doesn't matter if you don't have a date, Rob.
Yes.
Because he said that's why he
Rob
wasn't
ain't
going.
Got no girl.
Yeah.
I'll find you a girl. There's plenty.
Dom.
There's plenty.
Holler at a player when you see him in the streets. That's right.
Guys, Corgan Station rooftop, by the way. Awesome. It's just
beautiful. Oh my goodness. It's going to be a great time. So if you're in the Kansas City area, Nebraska, Iowa, you want to roll through, please go to Positive People Posse, swoop up your tickets. I promise you, come holler at me. We'll have a good time. I'll show you how to dubstep. I don't know how to do that, but we can work on it together. Dom, Positive People Posse is on Instagram. That's at Positive People Posse as well, right?
Yes.
Guys, follow them. They're doing some amazing things. It's
Paul,
great to be
I love
around
your
amazing
energy,
people.
Man. I really love your energy.
Game recognizes game, sir. So listen, if you take anything out of today's session, today's podcast, obviously the people that you surround yourself with play a critical role in mindset. True. Positive People Posse is bringing some positivity to those around them. That's just like the Fundamism philosophy. Gravitate more towards the things that give you strength as opposed to the things that tear you down. If you're in a miserable situation right now or you're unhappy, just find what you're passionate about. I'm not saying quit your job, but I'm saying take a risk and do more of the things that move you. You know, sometimes when you take a leap, you might be surprised of who's there to get you. And believe, though, that if you take that leap, if you are passionate about something and you want to gravitate more towards something that lifts you up, it takes work. So don't reach out to me and say, Paul, I took the leap just as you said, and I failed. It's not working out. You got to go hard. It takes some time, and you got to have vision, and you got to have passion. And most importantly, outside of passion, you have to have a plan. And sometimes that plan finds you. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, as always, for tuning in to the Fundamism podcast. If you want to see these fire new shoelaces that I got.
And these hot pants.
You got to go check out our YouTube. Rob's doing all the big things on YouTube. Coming up, we're actually going to have some amazing new bits where following the podcast, we're going to have some new segments, and guests are going to stick back around, and we're going to do some fun stuff that's exclusive only to YouTube. So
I love that.
Have a blessed day. Go create a little bit of fun for yourself and hopefully in the life of others. We'll catch you on the flip side.